Yeah. What's up, guys? Yo, I'm gonna try something. I've heard this before. Let's see. Hey.
Yeah. Welcome to the grind, the MLB maze. Gundackers and name dropping plays all day. I swear he got the stats on lock. Barrel percent makes the hitters pop. MLB grind where the winners reside. Prop bets and DFS with a confident stride. Tune in for the picks, that's the daily vibe. Hard contact hitters keep the dream alive. K% soar in the strikeout kings. Pitchers on the mound pulling championship strings. Numbers don't lie, see the stats align. Prop bets, precision, every dollar shines. Step into the zone where logic meets skill. Crunching all the numbers for the big bankroll thrill. Gundacker got the mic, yeah, he's rushing the third. Making DFS moves like a numbers expert. Late breaks, curve, slide, spin on deck. Grind through the
That's kinda
stats
cool.
till the boxes check. No, swing and miss on this audio blast. MLB grind taking listeners to class.
Oh,
MLB grind where
I like
the winners
that.
reside. Prop bets and DFS with a confident stride. Tune in for the picks, that's the daily vibe. Hard contact hitters keep the dream alive.
I like that. That part's cool. There was a part in there. I love how there's a little bridge. What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are coming off a fun Friday night that hopefully went better than mine. Man, Orioles, I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. They just, whew. That was rough. But that's baseball, Susan. I like that. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Kai? Cub game? Yeah, that Cub game was crazy. Luckily, it wasn't on the slate. Here, what up, RC? Is that AI? Yeah, dude, I've been playing with this AI program. I've been doing a lot of work with AI lately. AI is crazy. So basically, I had it make me 2 songs based on for the podcast. I literally listened to it when y'all did. This is the other one. This one sounds a little bit more serious. It's pretty fascinating and addicting.
Welcome to the grind, the MLB maze. Gundackers the name, dropping plays all day.
Hey,
Sarah got the stats on lock.
it's saying Sarah. It's supposed to be XCRA.
MLB grind where the winners reside.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just crazy?
For the picks, that's the daily vibe. Hard contact hitters keep the dream alive. K% soaring the strikeout
That's wild,
kings.
dude.
Pitchers on the mound pulling
Yeah, Reds went
championships.
crazy.
Numbers don't lie, see the stats align.
Kind of, you know, that game looked good pre-flop, but man,
Step into the zone where logic meets skill. Crunching all the numbers for that big
Abbott,
bankroll
sheesh,
thrill.
career
Gundacker
game
got
out of
the
him.
mic, yeah, he's brushing the dirt.
All right, that's enough of that. Hey, man, that's fun, dude. Maybe we can do something with that. It'd be fun. Yeah, Reds went crazy, dude. If you guys were on the Reds, the ballpark, the weather conditions, rest of the slate, Boston dropped 10. They kind of lived up to their total. Dodgers won 3-zip. Great pitchers duel between Yamamoto and DeGrom. DeGrom gives one up to Edman to start the party, and then he comes back strong with 7-7. If you dance with Rodon, that first inning, yikes. And then he turns it around and he goes 6-9, drops a 30 fantasy point game. And then one, oh, man, I was all over like Orioles, some Alonso, some is that like it got to a point tonight where we were looking at the barrel alerts, where it lets you know when a player has hit a barrel. That doesn't mean that they got a hit. It just means they hit the ball in a way that had a high expected batting average. And man, I was just getting Buxton lineouts, Mountcastle lineout, Jackson, Judgy fly out. Ben Rice, essentially, he got a homer robbed. Ozuna fly out off a barrel. Adley Rutschman, we were all over his fantasy points as a leadoff catcher for PrizePicks. Line out, 19 degree, 105 mile an hour exit velocity. Line out. It was getting like, after a while, I was just like laughing. Another one, Judgy, unlucky out, Rasmussen. What else did we get? I just felt like every time I looked up, dude, I was just getting trolled. Here we go. Another Buxton fly out, homer in one park. Oh man, what are you gonna do? Oh, and then I had some action on Pete Alonso, the homer. Homie hits a triple. I was like, come on, bro. It was a little trolly, you know. It's just a little trolly. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There'll be days like that. Braves made Paddock look good, dude. Rough. Oh well. Onward and upward. That Cubs game was absolutely ballistic, bananas. If you guys didn't watch it as a baseball fan, it wasn't really on anything for DFS. But I know at the beginning of the year we were talking about this season, how Coors games do crazy things sometimes, and so does Wrigley Win games. And that was a Wrigley Win game. It didn't really start till the party didn't start till like the 8th inning, but then it went crazy. I mean, just nuts. And everybody was homering. Fun to watch, I guess, as a fan. And those games are crazy for overs because they usually get to like 10.5, 11. Some suckers drop 18. What's up, Dave? Hope you guys are having a good Friday night. So check this out. We actually got a lot of games that start early for Saturday. We got an 11-game 105 slate over on DraftKings. And we got 15 games all day. So buckle up. Here we go. You guys know the drill. Throughout the duration of the stream, I'm going to be working with the spreadsheet, the premium tool over at MLBgrind.com. You guys want it? Add it to your daily repertoire of tools and expedite your research process. Go to MLBgrind.com, premium memberships. Get signed up. You'll get a link to the spreadsheet, link to the Discord. There will be a new spreadsheet link soon. Gotta keep mixing them up because I don't really have a high octane wall that kind of prevents. Yeah, whatever. There'll be a new link soon. So if you guys are, you guys have it bookmarked or something, just one day you're gonna click it and it's gonna say deleted. No biggies, no worries. MLBgrind.com. Get yourself signed up. Jump in there. And be active in the Discord, man. lately, me, Jake, Rich, kind of it, dude. We have a lot of subscribers, and a lot of you guys are just the silent assassins. I love it. I love the support, love the love. But I want everybody to know you guys are welcome to chime in during the conversation, ask questions, or if you guys have hot takes and plays and whatnot, just tell them, hey man, mix it up, man. Love making friends in this space. We're gonna go jump into the action here at 1:05 p.m. Eastern. Marlins and the Phillies. The music good, y'all? It's not too loud. Yesterday, Sandy Alcantara did not have a great day. We saw Harper. We saw basically any day the top of the bomb detector from the Phillies. Those were the guys that went off. Harper and Schwarber bringing the boom. And that was another game that wasn't really on the main slate. But if you had dabbled in the 3-game early, that was your offense to get. And today they're looking good again as they get to look at Cal Quantrill. And check this out. We got winds blowing out the center, and we've got a 6.1 implied run total right now. That is that's basically a Coors run total. So it's a little bit of the wind, a little bit of Cal Quantrill, a little bit of this offense is clicking, a little bit of 76 degrees out there in Citizens Bank Park. So this is going to generate a lot of immediate interest when it comes to fantasy. And I can't argue against it. 4.2 run total for the Marlins. 6.1 for the Phillies. Let's put some game notes here. Higher run total for the Phillies. Wind blowing out to right. Right now we're looking at 13 mile an hour projections. Let's go open up a pitcher projections tab. Let's go delete all this. Go get our quality starts out the way. Whew, guys, it is freaking hot in Texas. Let me tell you what. 80 degrees and humid right now. It's almost midnight. What's up, Lone? What's up, McCreasy? Cruising Harper. Yeah, that was good. Slate start is so promising. Then the Orioles started trolling. You know what else I had on PrizePicks? If you wait until about I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes before the game, there's the MLB live tab. You could bet on pitches thrown, and the basic line is anywhere between 14.5 to 15.5. And took a couple overs. I think we took Abbott's over and we took Carlos Rodon's over. Carlos Rodon had like almost 30 pitches in the first, still went 6 innings. He turned it around. We also liked the Red Sox pitcher over 4 strikeouts he got there. Finally, a strikeout prop against the White Sox pays off for me. Before it was just too low, man. Too low. Got out my show and saw DeGrom out, dude. That thing was nuts. Webb and Yama, a ton of Baltimore. So, yeah, it's weird. Sometimes lately, you expect the offense and the pitchers deliver, and you expect pitchers and the offense goes crazy. That's baseball, Susan. What are you gonna do? So it's pretty easy to rank this one out. Phillies offense on top. Not really that excited to play Taijuan Walker in 2024. 21% K rate for him so far this season. 1.21 on the whip. 3.39 expected ERA and 15.2 innings. I mean, I guess he's trending in the right direction. He does get a solid matchup pre-flop against this Marlins team that we saw. We saw Zach Wheeler shove against last night, but he is no Zach Wheeler. And this is a park environment that isn't going to play that well for him in his home run problems. 2.3 home run per 9 this season to righties. Last year over a 3, a 2 last year to lefties. Hasn't allowed it to lefties so far this season, but it just doesn't feel like he's going to sustain a 30% K rate to lefties, and it's so on and so forth. So kind of dig the Marlins to take advantage of some of that. I'm not really there on Walker. If you guys got a different read, a different tell on Taijuan Walker, be my guest. I'll take a peek at his Savant page just to see if I'm missing out on some crazy change of arm slot or pitch mix or whatever. It does look like, I mean, that's 5 years now. I mean, his pitch mix is all over the place the last 3 years. He's throwing cutter a lot more, cutter and splitter. So he's just kind of mixing it up. So maybe that could be something. Cutter against the opposite hand might explain the uptick in strikeouts against lefties. Last year he threw the cutter the least. This year he's throwing the cutter the most. 33 times against lefties, 44 on the splitter against lefties. So lefties are going to get a big heaping of cutters and splitters. Maybe that's something we can employ the pitch report to give us a look at. Xavier Edwards, Jesus Sanchez, Matt Mervis. I mean, you know what I mean? We're these are names. So maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on performing better this year because of the pitch mix. But we'll see. I need to see it play out with a little bit more broader sample. So let's look at his strength of schedule. San Fran, Atlanta, Colorado. At home against Colorado, that'll do it. At Atlanta, certainly have seen some big strikeout games. He also had 3 walks that game. San Francisco, I would say it's been an average plus strength of schedule in his favor. I don't think it necessarily gets that much worse. What are the names here? We got Skeens, Roche, Hunter Green, Logan Gilbert, Oda Sengai, Nate Eovaldi, Shane Baz, Zach Gallen, Roki Sasaki. We basically got a lot of day ones. I'm on the you can play Walker if you want to side of the coin. I don't think I want to. Yeah, I don't think I want to. I'm just gonna go a little Phillies offense because I'm not that excited. I'm gonna go Marlins substack, try to dig into that park factor and weather factor as well. Let's go 1.5 on the weather boost here because of the wind, and we'll keep it moving. Yeah. Yamamoto, Cy Young tickets, hold 25 is good. Dude, you know what I like for AL? I tweeted it. Chris Bassett, dude. I think Chris Bassett is good value. I think National League is really competitive, so it's anybody's ball game. Bassett's probably gone up, but he was 70-1 on his start the other day. Looking at Vegas Insider with Cy Young odds. Yeah, he's gone up, or he's gone down a lot. He was plus 70,000 on his last start. You can still get him at 50,000. He was at 12,500 to start the season. You look at the American League, there's some good pitchers, don't get me wrong. I just think there was like the other day he was like 70,000, which was like a 1.6 probability. I think he's more than a 1% chance of being the Cy Young. You know what I mean? Like looking at the reason why he's better, arm slot, the break in his pitches, the slider, and he's a notorious inning eater. I think he's got a real chance, better than a 1%. So don't hate that. But the odds have gotten a lot worse, but they're still not bad, I don't think. All right, let's move on. But yeah, the National League is so stacked for pitching. That's kind of why. Like, if Bassett was in the NL, I don't even know that I would have wasted my breath. But the AL is kind of, a little bit open. Unless the Blue Jays tank out and try to ran them out or something. In which case, I can name one team in the AL East that could use them. Royals doing battle with the Tigers. This game not as juicy on the run total as you might expect. Dylan Dingler. Such a good name. .9 implied run total for the Royals. Tigers are at 4.3. I didn't project out the pitchers here, did I? I mean, Jesus. I'll give them a 15% K rate, 10% walk rate. Yup. Taiwan, I'll give him a 20, 21, and 8. Now let's get to Seth Lugo versus Casey Mize. Lugo, a 17% K rate so far this season, 7% swing and strike rate. That's down. The 18.8% call strike is pretty in line with his last 2 years. The barrel rate's pretty in line. The expected ERA is a little bit above what we saw last year. I think there's room for increasement on the K percentage, and we do get a Tigers matchup in Comerica that could maybe boost him today at 7,500 to maybe go a little bit underlooked. Well, let's see if there's anything stark contrast in his pitch mix this year to last year that might be resulting in a dip in anything. A little less whiff on the fastball. So far throwing a curveball a little bit more, a little less whiff on the curveball, 33 to 25. He's not getting no whiffs on the sinker. Last year he was at a 13%. This year just 3%. The velo 92, 79, 91, 92, 92, 79. So not the same, but not too crazy different. All right. And then Casey Mize, we've kind of discussed it. He's part of that batch of young guns. I think will keep evolving and be a problem sooner than later. Maybe later than sooner. But this is not the get ahead of the field spot, in my opinion. The Royals, one of the worst teams to target for strikeout upside, and this is a slate chock full of 30-point potential. I don't know that I'm gonna make the declaration yet, but you guys know how I feel when you get ace-filled slates. We call it double barrels, man. Double barrel 30 bombs from your pitcher spots. You can't really get away with too many 7K 14 fantasy points if you're gonna have 4 or 5 guys with a real shot at 30 fantasy points, and that's what we've seen at a Hunter Green. Definitely seen it at a Garrett Crochet. Paul Skeens is absolutely one of those guys that can do it. There's a couple of really good pitchers in tough matchups that could kind of go either way, but Logan Gilbert, for example, Eovaldi gets the Dodgers tough spot. St. Baz gets the Yankees tough spot. Gallen, I don't know what Wrigley's looking like. Looks like Wrigley's more neutral today, but it's a good offense regardless. Sasaki, you know what I mean? Mackenzie Gore gets Coors. So there's a couple of good pitchers in rough spots. So maybe the top end isn't gonna go nuclear, but it could. And I think because of that, I'm much less likely to go grab some of these guys that are more likely to get me 15 to 17 fantasy points if I'm lucky. And I feel like with Mize's current pitching profile, the 1 in 5 K rate against a Royals team that just doesn't strike out, I don't really think I'm tapping into him for some upside there. Job looked good. Yeah, that's what Job's in the mix, right? He's one of those young pitchers. He's got less miles on his tires than even Mize, but you get what I'm saying. What was Job's final line against the Royals? We went 5 and 5. You'll take that. 19 fantasy points. I just don't know if 19 is going to be good enough on a slate like this. So this almost feels like a wash game. You cherry pick what you might like. I will say this: looks like wind could be blowing out to left in Comerica, about 60 degrees. The wind blowing out to left would be a benefit for your righty pull hitters. Casey Mize against righties, a 1.17 home run per night so far this season, over and 1 the last 2 seasons. Who are you gonna tap into that? Bobby Witt, sure. I still think I'm landing in like the cherry pick territory, but man, cherry picking a 6K hitter, whew, it's gonna be rough. And then Seth Lugo, elevated walk rate and home run problem so far this season. The lefties, not sure if that's gonna sustain, but we did see that, you know, things aren't 1-to-1 in his pitch mix so far. It's not impossible. And then his metrics to righties look really good. Decent ground ball, keep him on the floor. And then I do think we can see an uptick in K. So I'm a little bit intrigued with Lugo. I'm more intrigued with Lugo than Mize, just because the matchup will kind of accidentally get you more strikeouts at time, and it's a plus park. I guess if I was backed into a corner and I had to go grab one of these pitchers, it's Seth Lugo. I don't really see a reason. 98, 109 pitches. You'd like to see a strong 6 out of him. I'm gonna jot him down in the ranking here. That's probably the only thing I'm gonna jot down. I will make a note. Wind blowing to the left. So we'll do that. And the Tigers are favored here. -127. Actually plus money on the Royals right now. I don't even want to hurt my brain at this stage to try to figure out why that is. Well, I'll take some Lugo. Not a lot. If I have to get to the 7K range, but I think this is a lot of double barrel dirty bombs. Like the spot for Perez and Bobby to get rolling. Mize been getting kind of lucky and struggled against the righties this year. For Salvi, I don't mind that. Definitely would be a righty for sure. That's for me. Bobby, Salvi, Pescatino is like fine, right? That's probably the lane 2, 3, 4 for me, but not a priority. Foamy. Let's go Lugo at a. I'm gonna meet him in the middle. I'm gonna give him a 19% carry. I'm giving him a little bit. I think he's better than 17%. And then walk rate, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna tax him for what he's done to lefty so far at 8%. And then Mize, I'm gonna give him a 21 and an 8. 21 and 8. And we'll come back here in a minute and sweep outs once we get everybody. Maybe the board will start filling out on outs. I don't have to just spit 15 to 17 out for everybody. All right, moving on to 220. Man, oh man, Diamondbacks and the Cubs have been involved in some shootouts this season. This game looks like it's going to be a lot more tame than yesterday's late inning explosion. And that would have been a fun game to sweat. In retrospect, like I said, a lot of the action didn't happen until later. The Tucker bomb, the Suzuki bomb, the guys that the Suarez, right? All the guys that you would have picked for the starting matchups. The fun didn't start till the 8th inning. So you probably would have been like, oh man, everybody's got one more at bat. D-backs are down by friggin' 8 or whatever the score was. I don't know. I'm dead. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. It went crazy. That just would have been an epic experience. I didn't have any action on it, but I was in the Discord voice chat with Rich when it was going nuts. I think at one point Rich was sweating. I think he just needed a base from Suzuki. Suzuki went and got 4 of them, so good for him. Run totals here for the D-backs, 3.9. Oh yeah, way less. And 3.8 for Ben Brown. So in this projection, wind's blowing in 4 miles an hour and it's 50 degrees. So much more neutral. It's still Wrigley Field, don't get me wrong. And not like crazy winds blowing in to stifle stuff. You're just not getting a little extra help. And you are getting Ben Brown on the bump here for the Cubs, who has had some struggles against righties so far this season. That wasn't necessarily the case last season, but we did see an elevated line drive rate, elevated hard contact rate. That those two numbers usually don't result in a 181 average. So it's not extremely surprising to see that average kind of catch up with them. The hard contact hasn't been there so far, but the average has, the low K rate has. And I would say that the pushback here is your favorite Diamondbacks are the lefties, right? Pavin Smith, Corbin Carroll, even Naylor to an extent. Ketel Marte has been out. I don't know if he's gonna make it back on this road trip. And Suarez got into one yesterday, but I don't know. They kind of washes here. And then you can kind of look at Ben Brown's lefty splits, and he does strike out lefties at a decent clip. Much like Mize, though, D-backs one of the worst teams to target if you're hunting strikeouts. So you're not going to get warm and fuzzied trying to roster Ben Brown or get cute with Ben Brown and find some strikeouts. D-backs are 7th, about 20% team K rate against righties, which is top 7. On a different slate, I think I'm dabbling with a couple of these 7K guys, but man, this is a slate. I think I'm just going to prioritize the upside guys, and up against him is one of those upside guys, although he has had some left-handed struggles to say the least this season. Zach Gallen, a 1.41 whip, that's a 3-year rolling high, a 4.47 expected ERA, a 3-year rolling high, a 10.2% barrel rate, a 3-year rolling high. But the strikeout stuff is still there, 25% and a 12% swing and strike rate. Unfortunately for him, Kyle Tucker exists. He plays for the Cubs. Michael Busch has been fine. And if he's going to struggle to get lefties out, those are guys that are going to make it hard for you. And we've even seen Pete Crow Armstrong flashing it. Little pop, 174 ISO, and he's got a lot of speed. So it's not like a give me if he can't find a way to get around these issues. I feel like the D-backs and the Cubs have already played, but I could be wrong. Yeah, they did. He just against Chicago on the 27th. Didn't go great. 4 walks, 4 Ks, 4 hits, 4 innings, 4 earnings, 4 fours, 4s, 4s, 4 for 4. A lot of 4s. I'm not gonna like overreact to that, but this ain't gonna be the first time they've seen him, and we've got 4 games of stuff to go off of here. So I'm in the blender of 30 fantasy point pitchers. I'm putting him towards the back, but you're also getting a little bit of a discount at 8,300. So I do think you have to consider him. And even though this isn't a win game, and even though both teams run total sub 4, I think it's almost a 4-corner spot. It's probably at least a 3-corner, and then depending on your comfort with Ben Brown versus the competition, like if you're running 150, I do think you get Ben Brown in the mix. But if you're running 20 or less, I mean, there's not a lot of check boxes going his way for a deep enough slate. Man, that's just the way I play. I'm pretty stingy when it comes to pitchers. I'll stack just about any offense though. So let's go. Man, Cubs or D-backs? Who do we like more here? I think D-backs. We'll give them the away team bump. We'll give them base running bump, and we'll give them the double line drive bump. So we'll go D-backs there. We'll go Cubs, and then we'll go Zach Gallen. All right, all right. Let's fill out this. We'll get 25% carry to Gallen with a 11% to walk rate, and then for Brown, we'll give him a. Man, he does strike out. What's he smoking lefties with? You got like a slider that just keeps going, a cutter. A lot of times it's cutters that you can. Jesus. What up, Jack? What's up, Diego? Here. You all right? Had the over 11 in the Cubs game. 2-0 in the 7th. I chalked it up. Yep. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. That must have just been an insane sweat, bro. That's like gambling legends. What would be your ideal USA lineup for a WBC for a final? Honestly, I feel like the team that they're drawing up is kind of crazy. Obviously, Judge in the field. Probably like Adley as catcher. Corbin Carroll, I want him on the team. Mookie Betts, I probably want him on the team. I think Mike Trout's obviously on the team. You got to count him. Corey Seager, shortstop. Yeah, I can't think of anyone better. Gunnar Henderson, maybe. You thinking for shortstop? Bobby Witt, probably still. Yeah. Or Lindor, but no, Lindor's on like Puerto Rico or something, right? Bobby, yeah, that's right. You gotta think about American. Did I say Kyle Tucker already? Well, if you got, say, if you got Mookie can play just about dang near anything. I don't know, man. I don't know. USA's got a squad, dude. I don't want to be out here getting mopped by Venezuela or something random this year. I need them show up, show out. Who's DHing? I'd probably say Kyle Tucker. You got Judge, Trout, and Mookie as your outfield, assuming like you would, because Mookie, if you're gonna have Bobby Witt and Corey Seager, where are you gonna put? You know what I mean? Where are we putting Mookie? Yeah. I think the walks get the Gallon in trouble. Yeah, I can see that for sure. And then it's Adley at catcher, right? I mean, I guess you could make a case for like Real Muto, but I feel like it's Adley. Austin Wells, but I think it's Adley. Ben Rice. I think you still gotta have a little star power in your lineup. But man, there's some goats right now in the metric level. Where are we at? Let's get the Mariners and the Blue Jays. We missed out on a couple of revenge dunks yesterday. Where's my narrative guys at? Freaking Roddy Tellez heard me dunking on him the other day. And then we got I think Benintendi got one. Also, who knew Ohtani was expecting? I had a lot of new dads in the league. It was going down. Blue Jays versus Mariners. Jose Barrios taking on Bo Bichette. Get this typed up and I think I would have to look at, because some of these white people I'm thinking of might sneakily be Canadian. Like, isn't Freddie Freeman Canadian? Or am I absolutely tripping off of that? Yeah, US should go crazy. Elliott catcher, yeah, it has to be. Has to be. Mariners have a 4.3 run total. 3.9 on the Blue Jays. So, Jose Berrios has a 21% call strike rate. That's a thing. Logan Gilbert's been just good. Stop me if you heard this one before, though. Horrendous strikeout matchup. 16.8% aggregate K rate in the projected lineup. It's talent versus bad matchup, but the talent so far this season has a 38% K rate. We dropped that all the way down to his baseline from the last 2 years, even if at 25%, pretty doggone good. And it's a really good ground ball rate, particularly against righties. Maybe neutralize your Vladdies, your Bo Bichette's. Now, there are a bunch of switchies and lefties that you might worry about dipping into this column, which is your home runs allowed. And so far, it has been there. Santander, Andres Jimenez, probably the guys I'm most worried about doing that, with the emphasis on Santander. But it's kind of hard to not want a piece of Gilbert, but it's easy to rank him below the Skeens and the other aces that we got, like Garrett Crochet. So I do think he's in the mix, and I'm gonna put him at the top of the single game ranking. And then Jose Berrios, man, I think he's boy, you don't really know what you're gonna get with Berrios. Guys, help me to think of this name. There was a lefty, I want to say, that played for the Pirates like 7 years ago. Francisco Liriano. He feels like the right-handed Liriano right now. I just don't know what I'm gonna get out of Berrios. Already got it open, yeah. And that was kind of Liriano, man. He might go out there and strike out the world. He might go out there and walk the world. He might go out there and get rocked. Yeah, I think your decision on Gilbert today is probably correlated with how many lineups you're running. Like, if I'm running one, I'm probably, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 20. He might hit the right there, but obviously the check mark's going to Crochet and Skeens. It's gonna be hard to get out on. What up, Mad Max? I think he's American born but plays for Canada. Freeman, yeah. 3.86 overall xFIP for Berrios on the season, a 2.92 against Baltimore. Every team, every guy that I stack Baltimore fully against has a career game against Baltimore. They're just those guys. 56% ground ball rate against Baltimore. That's what you like to see if you're a Blue Jays fan. And then plate discipline, 13% swinging strike rate against Baltimore, 70% first pitch strike. Yeah, I think 20 is a good in the middle. What are we feeling on Berrios? Berrios is man, he's so unpredictable. And this Mariners team, I actually do like when you can neutralize their K rates. And that Berrios game, the Orioles play pretty lefty, switchy heavy. And kind of so do the Mariners. Polanco, Raleigh, Rowdy. Rowdy. Jeez. I think I'm okay with just leaving it as Logan Gilbert on the interest ranking. But spitballing, even if I don't sell myself on getting to Berrios or full stacks here, I think it's pretty easy to kind of look at this, figure out who the problem childs can be. I think it's easier to figure out the Mariners problem childs. Dipping into Berrios' home run problems Rally's been swinging a hot stick. Luke Rayleigh's swinging a hot stick. Then Rosarena kind of double dangerous. And Jorge. I mean, it's 1 through 5. 1 through 5 is a stack. I'm gonna do it. I don't want to feel so dumb tomorrow when Barrios implodes, and I'm just like, well, duh. Only a 20% rating versus righties. Yeah, although I don't think we were talking about this with a different team. I don't feel like they faced a ton of aces. Yeah, I don't know. Or we'll just look at their schedule here. I could be wrong. Astros. Still like early enough the season where weird numbers happen. So they got the Athletics, 4 games, the Tigers, a couple games, the Giants. Giants will give you Logan Webb. They probably got Verlander. What game did they drop 9 on? It was a Verlander game. Shocker. Astros, did they get Framber? Because Framber's not really a massive. Rangers, did they get DeGrom? Or they did get DeGrom 4-4. Not like crazy, yeah. Did they get Eovaldi in that stretch? They did. Eovaldi 5-3. I mean, that's probably as good as it's gonna get for righty on righty. So might be something to it. They shorten up. Have they gotten into? Red Sox would be Crochet. That's a lefty. But it looks like in general, actually the series hasn't even happened yet. But yeah, I don't think they've seen a ton of talent. But we just clicked a few names. You know, Eovaldi 2 less than the innings pitched, so it could be something there. Dude, that DeGrom lefty split. Ohtani had such a crazy number in the bomb detector, and I was like, that's Jacob DeGrom. And then Tommy Edman takes him. I was like, oh god, is this true? But I think that just flipped a switch for DeGrom. All right, let's throw a projection here on. We never did one for Brown. For Brown, I'm gonna give him 23 and 10. And then for Gilbert, I'm gonna give Gilbert a 25% K rate with a 11% walk rate. Jose Barrios. Guys, for some of these pitchers that are good strikeout pitchers against low K, high walk rate teams, start looking at those first inning pitches thrown. That's when you can really tax some of those. Like Barrios here. He's got Polanco, Rally, or Rosarena. Even though they strike out a lot, they also draw a walk, so a lot of full counts coming their way. Gilbert, we're going to give him a 30% K rate and a 5% walk rate. Yeah, a couple pitchers hit that switch tonight. All right, here we go. Speaking of hitting that switch. Babe, wake up. Paul Skeens is pitching today. Oh no. Our boy O'Neal Cruz kind of feeling it right now, yeah? I feel like he's got a week cooking. Ben Lively throwing baseballs for the Guardians. Andrew McCutchen stole a base yesterday. I think Emmanuel Valdez homered yesterday. That was fun. Joey Bart, Jack Sowinski, Brian Hayes, Adam Frazier, Will Amasia, and IKF. Then Paul Skeens. So it should be noted on what I'm looking at, it says a 26% chance of ring. But perhaps more alarming is the 65% humidity because of that. A 74 degrees temperature and wind blowing out to left. Paul Skeens is Paul Skeens. I'm not going to overthink that part. But it's going to make the Pirates look a little bit better than they should. They're minus 178. So let's put deep watch weather here. Possibly hot, rainy, humid, and wind blowing to left. Generally better for righty pull hitters, but yeah. So with that said, 4.7 run total for the Pirates. That's kind of high for the Pirates, yeah. So I'm gonna get them a half a point for weather grade here. Obviously, we're gonna put Paul Skeens at the top. He's just a cyborg. We're gonna go Pirates here. We're gonna put some Pirates in the blender. What's up, Danny? Going to Yankee game tomorrow will be a lot of runs. Hopefully more on one side. Just pitching that one. Cookie and Shane Baz. I think Baz isn't bad. Cookie is possibly a problem, so I don't disagree with your statement. Skeens and Pirates. I'm not really there on the Guardians, clearly. Two Trick Pony, more often than not. Quan and J-Ram. And then we've seen this Lane Thomas break up the lane here, so I'm never really that interested in a full Guardian stack, but if I did want some Guardians, starts with Jose Ramirez, and then you just kind of go from there. Not really there right now. Ben Lively, 20% K rate so far this season, 1.3 whip. Let me fix that. That's not that great. There we go. Let's put that in the projection 20. And then Skeensy, we're gonna give him 30 flat. Yeah, we'll give him 30 flat. Lively walk rate, let's go 8%. Skeens walk rate, so good, 4%. 8 and 4. Yeah, Lively gives up a lot of power. This season hasn't his home run per nine is whatever, but the batted ball metrics still say power. Fly ball rate's even higher. Ground ball rate's even lower. Hard contact rate's about where it has been. It looks like it's a little bit more locked than anything. Both sides of the plate, lefties especially. Good spot for O'Neill to keep it going. And he's got an ability to get there any which way. So, by the way, this park plays 31% below average and homers allowed to righties anyway. Like, the wind helps, but still a pitcher's park, so I'm not going to sweat Skeensy too much. But yeah, let's go Paul Skeens 1, Pirates 2. Not getting to Ben Lively, not getting to the Guardians. Let's get this Mets game pushed in here. I think we're doing good on time. Appreciate y'all vibing out this late on a Friday night. I saw that the Hall of Fame was going. I forgot the time change is so different over there. But I've been vibing tonight. Got a little pizza tonight, a little sweet tea. Good Friday. Might observe a little fast today just to work off this pizza. And then WrestleMania weekend, we'll watch that Hall of Fame after this stream. Played a little Fortnite, streamed on Twitch before this, so a little fun laid back Friday night. My dog does not want to come. The dog we fostered this past week, little Miss Daisy, she has no interest in coming inside, dude. She's just chilling back there. She stays on the back steps. Sounds like she's trying to escape the yard. I guess I gotta invest in building her a little doghouse kingdom or something. I don't mind the big old yard going to waste for the last year and a half. I wanted a cuddle buddy, yeah? But she's so freaking scary. What are you gonna do? Mets up against Libertor. Still throwing Kota Senga. Cardinals have a 3.8 run total. A lot of sub 4 so far. 4.9 for the Mets. Kind of high for the Mets considering the matchup, but I guess Libertor is getting a little taxed for his preceding body of work, more so than what he's done so far this season. So far this season, not too shabby. 3.37 expected ERA, sub 1 whip, 25% K rate, 18% call strike. The barrel rate 7%. You know, not elite, but not bad. So it's very fine. And the Mets just feel like kind of not clicking on all cylinders at the same time. But they are, on paper, since the beginning of last year, really elite against lefties. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Starling, Marte all have 130 or greater WRC pluses against lefties since the beginning of last year. You also get Mark Vientos to fill it out. And you might even see him in like the cleanup spot. I feel like he homered yesterday. So not a bad spot for the Mets pre-flop. Stop me if you heard that before. We're gonna throw him in there. And then Sengai, kind of a half and half matchup here with Nootbaar, Donovan, Arenado, and Burleson not offering a ton of strikeouts since the beginning of last year against righties. A little bit of walk rates to worry about, Nootbaar especially. But then it falls off a cliff in the projected. Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, Pedro Pages, Victor Scott, almost an aggregate 30% K rate with no walk rate. So it could be a wild, bumpy ride for Senga, but at 9,100, if you put him in the blender of guys you think has a shot at high 20s, I don't necessarily disagree. And we've seen him eclipse 20 in 2 starts so far this season. I'll say Miami twice. The strength of schedule is kind of, I don't know. I think we're learning to give the Athletics some respect here. Only 4 Ks against the Athletics though, and Miami's kind of back and forth. So I feel like we're considering Senga in 20. If I'm running 10 or less, I don't think I'm that enamored by him because I'm chasing the ceilings from our top end. And I'm not quite sure what his floor is in this spot. But he could just eat some innings. And we also haven't seen him go over 80 pitches. It's almost like immaculate how consistently 77, 77, 79. So not sure if we're going to get that aspect out of him. But he also went 7 innings, right, that last game. So not like they needed him or didn't need him to. So I'm going to leave him out the mix here at 9K on my interest ranking. But if you threw me a line, because I'm not like that enthralled with the Cardinals, if you threw a lineup and had some Senga, I would just be like, good luck, dude. I don't think it's a crazy click. It's just not one that's going to be in my short mix. But we do have the Mets. If Senga did struggle this season against lefties, 379 average, a 142 home run per 9. That's Lars Nootbaar. How you doing? 25% line drive rate. And that's how I would play that. Yeah, no. Viento's gonna. Yeah, the park's kind of rough. Weather for this one looks like some wind blowing out to right. So that might help with the help justify this Mets total. And that helps with your lefty pull hitter. So wind out to right. 75 plus degree temps, so not terrible. I think we give them half a point in weather boost for the stack rating, and this should absolutely be a spot for Starling Marte, Pete Alonso legging out a triple yesterday. I mean, that's just good for him. Moving on from that game, let's fill out that pitcher projection though. Libertor, we're gonna give him a 23% K rate and 8% walk rate. 23 and 8. And then Senga, we're gonna give him. I'll give him that one. I'll give him the 1 of 5. I feel like I should tax him a little bit. I'll give him the 1 of 5. Then I'll give him the 8% walk rate. So 20. No, 1 of 4, right? And then 8%. Yeah, we'll do that. Keeping it moving. Boy, I'll tell you what. If the Orioles wanted to troll the world, would this not be the stereotypical day late, dollar short? This is the matchup the Orioles go off in situation. After Andrew Abbott literally has a career game, man. Oh. It feels like I have to go run it, man. I feel like we've been seeing some lefties come away unscathed in some crazy fashion against the Orioles. Thinking about Chris Bubich. They're walking away league average and strikeout rate on the season. And it's all in my head. Orioles catch a righty today. They're less than 10 split. Cedric Mullins has been so good for them. Homered yesterday. But we talk about being good. Hunter Green is a problem. He'll be up against Brandon Young. 4.8 run total for the Reds. 4.4 for the Orioles, so not nothing. They're getting some love there. But Hunter Green has been so good. We're going to give him a 30% K rate with a... I'm gonna tax him a little bit and give him a 6% walk rate. And then Brandon Young, we don't have much on Brandon Young. He's for sure the guy, yeah. Sometimes they just throw a name and it gets me off guard. Young has joined the Orioles taxi squad and is scheduled to make his major league debut Saturday against the Reds. 26-year-old righty has made 3 starts with AAA Norfolk, posting a 2.76 ERA, 17-2 strikeout to walk ratio over 16.1 innings. That's good. Young collected 132 strikeouts across 111 frames between AA Bowie and Norfolk in 2024. It is AA though. Kyle Gibson is due to join the Orioles rotation around May 1st, which could point to additional start for Young next week. He pitches well Saturday. So, does look like you can get some strikeouts. It also looks like Vegas is leaning towards the Reds having a solid day. Let's go. Brandon Young, MILB. Full of splits. But yeah, Baltimore feels like they've been letting us down in spots that make the most sense. Dude, we got nothing on Young. This guy's coming from AA, especially. I don't even have splits in the MILB. I really can't overstock AA stats. Like, I really can't. It's nice so far what we've seen in AAA based on that little blurb. Only 6'6". God dang. One homer, no 16 innings. 13 hits in 16 innings. So the whip is just under 1. Yeah, just gotta trust Vegas here, I guess. We might get lucky with like a low strikeout, but I don't even know what kind of What kind of pitches we might be expecting out of him? Let's see. Brandon Young, Orioles. Can we get some video? The TJ Stats on Twitter. Little aesthetic. 93.6 mile an hour velocity on the four-seamer. Not overpowering, but not nothing. 87 on the change. Cutter, 87. Curveball, 77. Big fastball changeup guy, and those are his mix-ups. Decent whiff numbers. 69% strike percentage. It's not bad. I mean, it's not. All right. I don't really know what to expect here. It's probably not the slate to hunt pitchers against teams with a 5-run total, but curious to see what we get. What we do know is the wind's blowing out 12 miles an hour. Wind blowing out to center, 12 miles an hour, 80 plus degrees, hot and windy, 46% humidity. So let's go right back to the well hill. Reds, I'm gonna go Reds, Hunter Green, Orioles. And that's all I got to say about that. And I'm gonna give Brandon, I gotta give the rookie a 1. You can't give a rookie more than 1 to 5 for like a non-prospect, like, you know what I mean? And then the walk rate was really low, so I'll give him a 5. And then we will weather boost that with 1 point right now. We might go higher than 1 point. 80 degrees when blowing out. I'll give it a 1.5. Reds flop game, dude. I'm telling you, it feels like that Hunter Green game's coming too. But all year last year is pretty solid. But he is a big fly baller if you can make contact, and the wind might get him in trouble. But we know where he plays, right? I mean, not really any other way we can read that. Let's move on. Bet on talent, obviously, with the Reds, like you were yesterday, which is hard to say who the talent is. It's Ellie De La Cruz is where you start. We saw some good games at the plate from a lot of other people in that lineup that you normally wouldn't get to and don't project that well on paper, but Povich, not good. And I'll say it, bad hitting beats bad pitching at the major league level. Even the Rockies, man, they put it to the test sometimes, but they got to the homie Bobby Miller. Major league hitting is just a different level. Roki Sasaki up against the Rangers here. More great pitching. Maybe not as great as Yamamoto and DeGrom, but this curtain call could get interesting. Doc Peterson's starting to make headlines with his Chris Davis-like fall from grace so far. Will we start seeing that transfer into lineup reductions? And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Sooner than later, I don't know. 4.3 run total for the Dodgers. Remember, the Dodgers gonna be without Ohtani probably for this series. Ohtani out on paternity leave, so it does water down the Dodgers lineup a little bit, and we kind of saw that yesterday. But we also saw DeGrom. I think Ohtani's an invaluable piece. So I don't expect him. I'm not saying the Dodgers are a 3-run team without Ohtani, But it is, I mean, his wars, the offensive war is just different. When you're a 40-40 guy, you just can't replace that. So this Dodgers lineup does kind of take a tumble once you get past, you know, almost Teoscar. You could slide in Conforto. Max Muncy's been kind of a shell. So Eovaldi, who has been pretty stud-like, wouldn't be stunned if he gets past 1 through 3 in the projected, starts dipping into those strikeouts, and really keeps up this elite ground ball rate. So never fun, never comfortable to pitch against the Dodgers with any sense of confidence. But if there's a time, it's when they don't have Ohtani. Let's go. How do we rank this out? Let's go Eovaldi. I still don't have Eovaldi like in the top 3 of the slate. I think that's obviously going to be Skeens, Crochet, probably Hunter Green, even Gilbert. Like I think he's got some competition, but I can't deny that Eovaldi has the ability to go out there and do that. At Seattle, at Chicago, that looked a little rough. At Chicago was a little bit of a letdown, and Eovaldi has shown us historically he could start hot. He could even start games hot. It was heavy velo, and then it would kind of taper off. Look at the specific game logs here and see if there's anything that might suggest that the luck was bad. 4.72 xFIP, 4.78 xFIP at Chicago, at Seattle. Late discipline, still getting double-digit swing and strike rates, and we're still getting ground ball rate against Seattle came whatever, but I'll go I'm not interested in the offenses either, though. Like Sasaki, so far, you get 5 innings out of him, GG's. He's still trying to get the K's to catch up to where they were. 81 pitches is his max, and then we saw it against Chicago. Sasaki, 5 innings, 1 earned run. Chicago dropped 16. So it's not immune for the bullpen to get got, but the bullpen didn't have to do much yesterday. I think we go Eovaldi, but I'm not like super in love. I'm gonna go Rangers then Dodgers, but like this 3 is truly interchangeable. I could literally spin that, pull it out of a hat, and rank it. I don't really know how to convey that. But yeah, we'll see if Globe Life opens the roof. Probably won't, but you never know. Day game. Muncy and Semien are dust, yeah. Langford will be back tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they let Harris keep playing too since the Bears just nothing burger. Yeah, I got Langford in a 3-hole right now. That helps balance that lineup out. Pretty soon you gotta look at Jock Peterson and take him out back. Nothing. 207 expected slug. 213 expected WOBA. I mean, that's like insane drop off. So maybe it's just bad luck. I don't know, bad luck, but maybe it's just he's got to find it. How do you go from top 10% to bottom 1%, top 4%, bottom 1, top 5, bottom 2? It's just, even if you're not making a drastic decision in baseball history, this is like bench the guy for a couple days, get his head right. You know what I mean? It's just kind of rough. 2,500 over there. All right, give me Eovaldi, Rangers, Dodgers, interchangeable ranking right there. Let's go with the we'll go 18% Sasaki. One of these days Sasaki's gonna click, but that's the troubles you get when you skip the minor leagues. And then for Eovaldi, I'm gonna go 24% K rate. And Sasaki, these walk rates gotta come down. But until they do, I gotta give it to him. 15% walk rate. Eovaldi. Give him a 4%. Group's gonna be closed. Oh, it's raining tomorrow. Is it? I hope I get some of that. It wasn't ever hitting versus Yama. Yeah, it's a bad matchup, but then it just brings stuff to light. But you also, sometimes your hitters just gotta hit good pitchers here and there, and we just haven't seen them shine through, break through that yet. But I'm kind of like, I'm rooting for him. I'm not anti Jock Peterson here, but let's move on to Tampa. More hotness. I'm looking at 90 degrees out there in that single A ballpark. By the way, Ben Rice, if you're a barrel guy, a reminder, got a homer robbed yesterday. Crazy play. Old Michael K was doing his see ya, and it found a glove. The box score is not going to show that. But man, the kid just keeps putting the barrel on the baseball. Speaking of putting the barrel on the baseball, Carlos Carrasco is gonna let you put the barrel on the baseball. This could be ugly. I mean, this could get rough. They got Meisner in this projected leadoff. Man, this is like a Brandon Lau homer. A Rondo. Jesus, bro. I'm already scared of what might happen here. You know, it used to be a time in baseball where you would punt a certain game. Judgy takes pride in playing every game, but man, Shane Baz versus Carlos Carrasco in 90-degree Tampa Bay. That'd be my spring training lineup right there. Yankees have a 4.3 run total. They are road dogs to the 4.9 run total of the Tampa Bay Rays. 90 degrees. I'm going to give them a 1.5 weather boost. Wind blowing in, but that means Jack Diddley squat in that park. 90 degrees. Wind blowing in. 12 mile an hour. I don't care. Single A ballpark, right? So first and foremost, Tampa Bay Rays at the top. Now let's talk about Shane Baz. And what's most notable about Baz is, one, he's got to stay healthy, but two, his velocity has been found. He has added 2 miles an hour on his fastball, extra zip. Changeup is up. Curveball is going to play better when your fastball is faster, and the same thing with the changeup. So 34% whiff rate on his curveball, 45% whiff rate on the changeup, because when you throw in 97, only a 19% whiff on the I say only 19% whiff on the fastball, but you still gotta sit fastball and adjust because it's so fast. And I think that's what we're seeing here. And because of that, we're seeing a 38% K rate, an incredible incline over his 21% last season. And it seems, I'm not gonna say sustainable, but it seems explainable. And it's right there in the velo, where his fastball is just faster. The expected metrics on the fastball this year to last year is not that much different, but like I said, it sets up those other pitches so much better, and I think that's why we're seeing some better results, especially with the whiffs. A 163 expected WOBA on the curveball this year and last year was 243. The expected slug on the curveball 231 this year. Last year was 302. That's still like fine, but it's not like crazy, right? A 56 expected WOBA on the changeup. Last year 249. So the velo is helping quite a bit. Also putting the ball on the ground, especially the righties, that'll come in handy against a guy like Aaron Judge. And missing bats. So Shane Baz over the Yankees for me here. But we're not going to not list the Yankees. They've just been that good. Shane Baz is 8,500. This is not, I mean, I don't know. This reminds me when we had Bubic against the Yankees at this price point. Boston, Angels, Pittsburgh. Boston, I think, is a comparable team in terms of they're good. They can strike out, but they're a dangerous offense. And we saw 11 strikeouts out of them in that game. So clearly the range of outcomes here is pretty wide. I don't say it's wide. I think he either goes off or dies. I think going off is maybe the more likely outcome here. And this pitch count's looking pristine. So while Shane Baz is healthy, I think we play him. And I think 8,500 is a bad price as far as efficiency. I think he should be 10K, to be honest. So I'll take the discount and I'll throw him in a blender. Even in 90-degree temperature, yeah. It basically comes down to, like, if you're not stacking Yankees, why? Because of Shane Baz? Well, then play Shane Baz. If you're not playing Shane Baz, why? Because the Yankees? Well, one side's got to win that, right? Like, it doesn't feel like it's his game to he's not gonna give up a bunch of hits. He'll give up some homers, and that happens with that fastball. Like I said, that fastball is not generating a ton of whiff, and guys are sitting the fastball, and you're gonna throw the fastball at least 50% of the time, more than likely, when you're throwing like that. So he'll get got, but it's usually gonna be clean bases, solo shot. So Bryce and Judge still in the blender no matter what. But yeah, Cookie Carrasco, yikes, 17% barrel rate is a problem, and even more so here in this park. There's not really a name in this Rays lineup I wouldn't get behind, but Jonathan Aranda, Brandon Lau are screaming with all the other variables we've already mentioned. And then Junior Caminero, I'd be looking at him as well as my first three, but this is a flat enough lineup that I think I can get to 4 or 5 guys pretty quickly. So Rays, Baz, Yankees, that's how we're doing that. We are not touching Cookie Carrasco. I'm gonna give him an 18% K rate. I'll even give him the 20. F it, 20 with a 7% walk rate. But I'm just not buying it. I'm rooting for him, not buying it. And then for Baz, I'll drop him at 30. I think it's fair to give him more, but I'm gonna give him 30. That's halfway between this year and last year. And I think that'll still spit back a solid projection without breaking the model. And then we'll give him a 5% walk rate, and we'll go from there. And in a minute, we'll sweep all the main slate pitchers out, and then do that. Hey, all this talk about weather and wind and park, we still got Coors Field on this slate. Some of you guys were in chat yesterday saying that you didn't like that the game got postponed because you were all over Mackenzie Gore. Well, now you get Mackenzie Gore. While the rest of the country's boiling hot, we got some cold weather. We got some snow. My boy Jake said he was snowing or shoveling his driveway, and that's what we saw this Rockies game get PPD'd for, right? So it'll be colder out there, of course. But all the bullpens did hit the reset button. Mackenzie Gore for the Nats. Rockies throwing Chase Dollander. Not bad. But goes right there into that classification of unbridled talent that has some probably some growing pains at the big league level. a guy I would want to get in certain spots before the field. But is it in Coors on a slate with Paul Skeens against a team that just doesn't really strike out much? Probably not. But you could make a case at 7.4K. But I think is it worth, taking that Coors risk for a hunch? And then what does the hunch give you versus the median of the pitchers you're foregoing from? I just don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze, as they say. 4.9 run total for the Nats, 4.3 for the Rockies. Dollander, 21% barrel rate so far at the big league level. Again, growing pains, going to be growing. 5.72 expected ERA. Lefties have been a problem for him. This is a team. I accidentally saw this on, was it yesterday's stream or the day before yesterday? The league versus right-handed pitching. First of all, A rate. The Nationals are 9th, 21.2%. But check this out. Homers. The Nationals have one homer as a team against right-handed pitching. One. How? Like, how? How's that possible? And I feel like it's James Wood, but I don't even know if it is. So yeah, they're having a problem with this ISO column against righties since the beginning of last year. James Wood is the shining light, I think. Obviously, it's Coors Field. You're going to stack the park against a bad team and a bad bullpen. But those are some weird numbers. So let's go with the ranking here. We're going to go Nationals 1. And how enthralled are we with the Mackenzie Gore roster on this slate in Coors? It is arguably a better environment other than being super high altitude and largest outfield in baseball. But temps are not 90 degrees. Wind's pretty neutral. I don't think Fanduel is an option for me. DraftKings under 8K. How often do we get over 20 fantasy points in this spot? Rockies suck. At Miami, Dodgers, Toronto, Philly. The strength of schedule has been a problem for him. Ironic that he struggled against Miami with that strength of schedule. Toronto doesn't strike out. I mean, I understand the thought behind some of you guys that were in chat yesterday missing him. I do. I don't know. Let's go ahead and fill out a projection for him. I'm gonna give him, what are we thinking? Give him a 28, meet in the middle from this year to last year. A little Coors tax as well for Dollander. I'm gonna give Dollander a 24. Walk rate for Mackenzie Gore. Give him a 6. Dollander, this, give him a 6. Was Ruiz off Nola? She's, I mean, that's an incredible stat that a team has one homer off of righties. Kind of wild. Guess I would put Gore in the ranking, and then I would put the Rockies in the mix, I guess. It's not fun, but it's Coors, and the Rockies for Coors Field are pretty value priced, and it's easy to look at a lineup of Rockies if you start your lineup with Skeens and Crochet, and you only get like 35.80 per. So you could kind of see a scenario, and I don't know if this is the likeliest way that the average player will go, but you can see a scenario of somebody trying to go and get these Rockies stacks pretty quickly, because you can get to 4, that price. Ryan McMahon, I'd even leave him in there just because, right? Let's say Tovar or Toglia. You already got Toglia. You get what I'm saying. We're already at 34. So you find yourself a one low 2K player and then mix that. You get that pretty quickly to offset those double 30s. So that might be the mouth breather approach to this slate anyway. But it can be done. It can be done. What's up, Trey? Welcome on while you wind down. Looking ahead tomorrow. Let's go, Trey. What up, Chandler? Low total for cores. Would only seen 8 to 8.5. Better spots to target, I think, with Philly, Cincy, Texas, Chicago. I 100% agree with that, Chandler. That's, surface level. But yeah, we're thinking with a GPP mindset and also kind of a pricing mindset if you're gonna go with your pitchers. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to be the guy that's counting Rockies. I'm just saying that the pricing on the Rockies for Coors Field is pretty low. But yes, we are getting a low total on Coors. We're also getting a low pricing on Coors, and Coors ain't dead until it's dead. Joel already announced out for this series. Dang, that's their most expensive guy. They have a good pitching slate. Yeah, there's a lot of solid pitchers today. A lot of good pitchers in bad matchups, but yeah, a lot of good pitchers. Any Gore love? And we're talking through that now. Love is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like you. I'll say this. I completely understand if you want to play Gore. And I did list some second in the interest ranking. Sub 8K. There's a couple sub 8K guys. I'm heavy on the double barrel mindset. Two guys that give me 30 apiece. And when we get to the 8Ks, I'm not as enthralled with Eovaldi as I thought I would be. Shane Baz, I think, is 30 or negative 10 in that matchup, and I'm leaning way more towards 30. Lugo, I think, is in play. The love is a strong word, but I think Mackenzie Gore is fine. Like, I'm not gonna disagree. And now that it's over. All right, one more game on this early slate, and this one features a late hammer on the early slate. So let's go battle the Sox. Guys, I'm a God-fearing man. I am. I don't know why I opened it up at that, but is this a safe place? Can I just say I had a 6-legger on PrizePicks? A team that scored 10 fantasy points. 10 real points. Give me Bregman fantasy. Give me Hunter Dominguez strikeouts. Oh yeah. Let me go get Churio and Yelich over there. I love that matchup. Let me get Rafi Devers right there in the thick of things in that lineup. Hey, why don't I get the leadoff guy on the team that scores 10 runs? Who do you think is the one that let me down there? What? What are we doing, Duran? 3 fantasy points, bro. Messing up the 6 pick, bro. My Bath Turd of the Day award going to that SOB. Just kidding. GG's, go next. Anyway. Luis Robert Jr. Andrew Vaughn. Every day we get like new subscribers to the channel, people that just don't know me. I wonder how I come across on rants like that. This guy's weird. Sometimes baseball's baseball, Tired of the team that drops double digit real points. Leadoff guy's the worst guy. I was getting some of that in the first couple of Cubs explosion games on the West Coast when Ian Happ just didn't want to participate. It can't all be Corbin Carroll. I get it. Hey, how about Trevor Story getting a pair of them yesterday? See the comeback player of the year? Thoughts? Gotta stay healthy. Last night, we let the liquor talk. Can't remember everything we said, but we said Blake Sabol in the 9-hole, the projected lineup. Catcher here for Crochet. We'll see if that actually sticks. 3.1 run total for the White Sox. A 5.6 run total for the Red Sox. Wind blowing out the center, much like yesterday. 75 degrees. So Red Sox have to be the tippy top of the game. Actually, Eric Crochet. And then Red Sox. It's kind of close. And Crochet is just, he's clicking, dude. He's finding it. He is, we talked about American League Cy Young contenders. He's up there, shoved on this White Sox team in his last start. Not always a good thing to see the same team 5 days in a row, but this is the White Sox. They shove. You're a new DFS player, you might look at this every other game stat. But no, it's a tougher part for sure. And White Sox do have some once upon a time bats against lefties that some would be trepidatious with historically, but I'm just not overthinking it here. Give me Crochet, give me Red Sox bats, and that's all I gotta say about that. Shane Smith, 17% K rate so far this season. I feel like we look at Shane Smith's pedigree every 5 days, and it's time to go remind ourselves what we were dealing with Shane Smith. So we're gonna go to last year's minor league numbers for Mr. Shane. 46.1 innings against lefties, a 136 batting average. That's really good. 48 Ks, that's good. 13 walks, we'll take it. 3 homers in 46 innings, we'll take it. 47.1 innings against righties, 16 walks, 65 strikeouts. That's really good. 259 average and 3 homers. So in the minors, he looked good. At the major league level, a 4% barrel rate. Wouldn't he have pitched against the Red Sox as well? Wait, what am I doing? Hello? There it is. 11, 23, 11 against Boston. 3 Ks. All right, let's game log that with an advanced metric point of view. Ugly. We don't hate Walker at 7,300. The pair with one of the studs to help you get a little more salary. Definitely ugly. I just don't. I mean, I don't think I trust Taiwan Walker here. But the matchup's the matchup. I'm certainly not. It's I have trust issues. Me. It's not him. It's me. Double-digit swing and strike rate in every game for Shane Smith. First pitch strike sitting around 60%. You certainly would like to see that higher. Batted ball 491, xFIP 5.3. So the xFIP is anti him in 2 of those games. And obviously, just got done saying it with the Orioles kid. Those minor league numbers are never going to transfer 1-to-1 unless you're a unicorn. And I know unicorns, and you, Shane Smith, you, sir, are no unicorn. But when it gets to where he needs to go, it does look like he's got some promising pedigree. So I wouldn't be stunned if he holds his own against the Red Sox. But I'm leaning towards the other way here, and I'm going to let Vegas and the run total pull me as well. It's your late night hammer, your late afternoon hammer for that slate. And that's how we're going to rank that out. So let's go Shane Smith. I do think 17% is too low. So if they gave us like a 3.5 K prop or something, I'd probably be a little donkey, and I'll take some action on that. But I'm gonna give him a 20% K rate. And then for Garrett Crochet, I'm gonna give him I'll give him a 29. He's got to earn the 30 back, but I'll give him 29. We're going to go... Dude, he's walking lefties right now. It's a high clip, but that wasn't a historical problem, but we got to tax him for it, so I'm going to give him an 8% walk rate, and then for Crochet, I'm going to give him 8%. 8 and 8. All right, if you will bear with me for a second, we have to go punch in outs to get a first run on out projection. So 15 and a half, 14 and a half in our first game. And if you guys are tuning in late, this is my rough draft on the spreadsheet. My way of tracking the slate, the games, and building out how you guys can preview the games every day with the premium membership at MLBgrind.com. So I usually do this on stream, and it's really good for the day streams. But the night before, we gotta work with what we gotta work with. We don't have all the outs yet, but we do get a glimpse. And these outs matter for projections a lot because it kind of leads the way on innings pitched and strikeout projections for me as well. Casey Mize, I don't have a number on him. Do we go 15 and a half as our baseline and then adjust tomorrow? I think we go 15 and a half and adjust tomorrow. I'll give him 16 and a half since he's gone through that couple games now. So 16 and a half on Casey. And then Zach Gallen, 16 and a half. Wait, I went and put Luke. What did I do with Lugo? Is that Lugo? Mize just not on here. All right, I think actually I'll go 16 and a half on Lugo as well. These are just really quick baselines. Anything for Ben Brown? There's a lot of no numbers here. Okay. Ben Brown, 15. Logan Gilbert, I'm gonna give him 17 and a half. What we got? Jose Barrios, 17 and a half. Getting plus money on Logan Gilbert under 17 and a half, so that's a good sign. We'll give him 2 towards his QS on Fanduel. Dude, he's juice. 190 on the, yeah, that'll be 18 tomorrow. 18 and a half. Senga and Liberatore are both 15 and a half. Hunter Green's at 17, so he's at 18 already. Good sign. Eovaldi is a little juice on the 17 and a half for him. That's a good sign. O'Shea versus Smith. Smith's got juice on the under, so they got him at, basically that'll be 15. And then we'll go 18 on Crochet. 18, 15. We got a Gore line at 17 and a half. Little juice on the over. I'm gonna leave him at 17 and a half for now. We'll see what that lineup looks like. And then Shane Baz, 16 and a half. I'm kind of thinking over there, but they're giving that offense some respect. I'm not gonna push back on that. All right, so that's what we do have. And now I'll just spitfire a couple loose projections. Ben Lively, I'm gonna go 14 and a half. Paul Skeens, I'm gonna go 17 and a half. Brandon Young, I'm gonna go 14 and a half. Roki, I'm gonna go 15. Carrasco, I'm gonna go 14 and a half. Dolander, I'm gonna go 15. And then we'll adjust that tomorrow as we can. Anybody we want to give some quality start points to? I'll give Eovaldi 1. I'll give Mackenzie Gore. No, I'll give Crochet 2. Logan Gilbert, we already gave him. All right, we'll go with that. So now we can project out the main projector. This could be weird. Should we call that the early slate? Yeah, let's call that the early slate. F it. So we'll call that the early pitcher projection. And we'll come back tomorrow and clean it up in the morning. And let's go stack rating. Mets. Phillies, Boston, Mets, Tampa, Yankees, Washington. A lot of high fives. High five GDPs. All right. I guess we can take a look at the bomb detector on this slate. Who's leading? Leading the way. Judgy, Alex Call, Mervis, Schwaba, Aranda. Miami's got a couple names up here. That's the Taiwan Walker effect, Gunnar Henderson. So no surprises, but you know. Yeah, there's some. The bad is real bad in the league right now. The good is good. The bad is bad, man. It's like. Yeah, let's get back to a couple games here. We got 4 games on the night slate. That'll wrap up the early main, and then we go night slating it up. Go chase our losses, blow our winnings. Start in Milwaukee. Luis Severino. Luis got to be the guy that I love the most, that I know is kind of washed, and I just want him to be good for his sake, because he just seems like such a nice, real dude. And when he's energetic, when he's throwing frisbees and fist pumping, it's exciting. I gotta be honest, it's not looking super sharp for him. And I've grown myself to. There's some teams that screw us, like the Orioles. Every time we go after them, and I think the Orioles, to some extent, the Phillies have been kind of pestering me. But then there's some teams that just feel like they're always coming through. I don't know that I've missed a Chorio's fantasy point prop anytime I go after them. Same with the D-backs, Corbin Carroll. But can we just appreciate the teams that do come through for us for being real ones? For me right now, kind of the Brewers. Chad Patrick, 2 first names, no thank you. 4.1 run total for the Athletics, 4.6 for the Brewers. Savvy, a 5+ expected ERA so far this season, $1.25 on the whip. Let's change the color on that. It should not be green. Not what you want. Immediate interest in the Brewers for me, and then inversely, immediate interest in the Athletics. This game total, not that crazy. Likely gonna have the roof shut out there in Miller Park. So I'm going offense. It's pretty easy analysis, I think. The righties for Patrick have been the issue here. I don't think he has a large enough sample size for me to be like, Tyler Soderstrom can't get him. You know what I mean? So let's go Chad Patrick, MILB. Refresh our memory on what we might be working with, especially split wise. And go to last year. 71.1 innings, 220 average, 111 whip, 13 homers in 71 innings. So you can get 21 walks. And then 63 innings against righties, 77 Ks, 211 average, 108 whip, and 3 homers. So lefties definitely hit him at a better clip in a minor league level. That's Lawrence Butler, Soderstrom. So I'm there on that. I'm gonna stay away from Patrick here, but it does look like there might be some strikeouts coming soon. And then Severino. I guess we'd have to context the slate here at pitching. You got Chris Sale, Michael King, Wisniewski. You might have to dip down into an uncomfortable click, and maybe that means a 15-ish from Chad Patrick. Kind of a weird schedule for him. Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Welcome to the show. Bad idea. Royals, no strikeouts team. He did get 5 strikeouts in that game. Cincy, 19. It's having a little bit of a walk problem too. And this top of this A's lineup, aggregate 10% walk rate 1 through 5. So this is where I would be looking for the first inning over 15.5 pitches prop that will probably open up within 30 minutes before this game tees off. So I might be looking at that. What up, Dustin? Hope you're doing all right. I'm leaning talent here. Right now, I'm gonna be non-committal for the pitching, but there might be pitchers that we don't list here that you just have to get in a blender for that slate. Next game, Padres and the Astros. Luis Ariz. I think he got one yesterday. We also saw a Jason Hayward scratch yesterday. We can play today. Hello, I'm Elias. And Michael King spinning the seams for the Padres. South Paredes, Jordan Alvarez, Christian Walker, Jeremy Pena, Rainer Diaz, Brendan Rodgers, Myers, and Cam Smith. Aiden Wisniewski. It's a spot where both these pitchers are arguably the best pitchers on the slate as far as vacuum talent. I guess Chris Sale's not in that conversation. But then you put him in rough matchups, right? So likely ends up as a 4-corner spot. Astros do get a sub-4 run total, so a little bit of credit to Michael King here. King has been striking out lefties at a high clip. So far this season, struggling to get righties out. I wonder if we can pinpoint Por qué, huh? Por qué, strikeout righties. What's going on here, Mike? Sinker has become his number 3. Fastball's become his number 1. Got a higher whiff rate on the fastball. Sweeper. I mean, he's getting great whiff percentages here. Expected slug on that fastball is a problem. Hmm. 93.5 on the 4-seamer this year, about in line with last year. Last year, expected slug was 400. I don't know. I'm screaming at me here. But something's got to give here. With that K rate to righties dropping literally by half. Is it short sample bad luck? Coors, Athletics, Guardians, Braves. Stuff Plus has been actually not great. Athletics was the only game he was above 100. Batted ball. XFIP is all over the place. Man, I don't know. A no warm and fuzzy spot here. But I think on this slate, we got to at least respect the expected ERA, the overall K rate, and the Astros run total. That overall K rate might be being held up by that K rate to lefty so far. Kind of just expect the righty K rate to come along. But if it doesn't, and the Astros throw out 8 righties, it's not like they're a massive K team anyway. It could play spoiler. But what does spoiler mean on that slate? Probably means that he would need to implode. Otherwise, if he did muscle his way to just 15, that dog might still hunt on that 4-gamer. And then Wesneski, 31% K rate so far this season. Even if it dwindles back down to 1-4, 1-5, still think you take a chance at it. But the Padres not a team we're targeting for Ks, but they don't take a lot of walks either. So I think it is a 4 corners. And this is one of those, you could really rank it just about any which way you want to. I'm gonna go King, Astros, Padres, Wesneski, and just almost have equal shares of everything. Maybe you have a little bit more of the pitching than the offense, just because pitching versus the rest is meh. But yeah. Severino. Oh, we didn't give out Severino K here. Let's go at 20%. That Patrick. 20%. I think we might go 8 and 8 on the walks. Yep. 8 and 12 on the walks. Michael King, I'm gonna go 24. We'll go 25. Wesneski, we'll go 25. Go 25, 25. F it. Give them 8 and 8 for now. Might be able to give Wes 6. Let's do that. All right. Braves paying 20. Going at it. Feel like I'm gonna be wanting to sell myself on Chris Sale here. Couple rocky experiences lately in the Chris Sale slot machine. We're gonna take a minute to look at his underlying metrics and see if nothing else we can blame. We know he's had a kind of tough strength of schedule. 2. Can we blame that versus this Twins team that kind of half and half? Let's go Braves. Oh, we saw Doogie leading off yesterday. That's going to be a thing that continues. Per sale so far this season, a 4.26 expected ERA, 1.5 WHIP. The K rate's fine. The swinging strike rate's fine. The barrel rate's a little bit alarming. Like I said, he has been challenged with some spots still. At Tampa, that park sucks. Philly, the Dodgers, San Diego. Dude, has anybody else done this average to bad just to be at his highest price of the season? I'm not mad, like I get it. But it's just kind of funny to see for sale at his highest price on DraftKings, and he hasn't scored you more than 15 fantasy points. Are they starting to algorize pricing based on expected metrics? Let's go Chris Sale. Game logs. Machine. Double digit swing and strike rate. You wasn't getting ahead against Tampa. XFIP has been fine. There's definitely some blemishes, but like I said, I really think we can cut him a little slack on the strength of schedule. What did we say his schedule was? Tampa, Philly, Dodgers, San Diego. WRC plus. Tampa's number 1. Dodgers number 6. San Diego number 8. Philly's 11. He basically ran into top 10 aggregate matchups. 2, 5, 10. Strikeout rates or the strikeout matchups aren't like insane either, but the strength of schedule has been pretty rough for the homie. Look at his pitches here. The unluckiness. 762 slug and a fastball. 699 expected slug. Still kind of not what you want, but whatever. Throwing that slider a lot. About the same as last year. Whiff rate's a little bit down, but again, quality of opponent a little bit higher. Velo's pretty similar. I'm leaning to just give him a benefit of the doubt here. And the Twins are 3 guys in their lineup with scary WRC pluses against lefties, in this projected at least. And that's Buxton, Carlos Correa, Ryan Jeffers. By the way, Twins run total is 3.3. I think that might be the lowest on the day. 4.9 for the Braves. So I might have spent too much time to give Sale the benefit of the doubt, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. We're gonna go with top priority. Probably got to be number 1 on the slate. Then we're gonna go Braves offense. They were a little bit stagnated yesterday, but Riley, Ozuna, Olsen, I like that. Also want to point out Austin Riley. That's what made me fall in love with him yesterday. Actually, let's just go leaderboards. Some of you guys already know this, but hitters. Riley right now is 9th in barrels per plate appearances. He is 4th in barrels per batted ball events. And then when we start looking at the pull stats, pull air. God dang it, did it again. I'm saying Melendez is up there. Riley's 9th in pull air percentage. And then looking at today's matchup against Woods Richardson, who is a righty, by the way. We split that up. That 33%. I mean, he's just really putting barrel on ball and putting the ball in air and pulling it. That's what you like to see. And Simeon Richardson, so far, a 63% fly ball rate, a 45% hard contact rate. Living with a sub 1 home run per 9 seems a little bit unsustainable. So just want to spotlight Austin Riley there. And then out of curiosity, I don't need to really do that, but him and Ozuna looking pretty decent. So let's go Sale. Let's go Braves. I guess in the sake of a 4-game slate, we just got to assume Sale is easily the highest owned pitcher here. You can get leverage pretty fast with the twin stack. I wouldn't talk you off of that. They're pretty cheap. And on a 4-game slate, you might even get like 1 Twins in a simulated lineup with Chris Sale, you know. Let's do that. Let's go Sale and Braves. And let's go K-rated up. We'll go 22 on Richardson. Sale, I'm gonna give him 29% K rate. Walk rate on Sale, go 6%. And then Richardson will go 7. And then we got 1 game left on the docket. 15th game. Giants and the Angels. Lots of baseball here. Like that most of it's early. A lot of day game stuff. Quick turnaround for us as far as getting into Sunday. Also, you know, happy WrestleMania to those who celebrate. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. A lot to celebrate this weekend. So for them to get that stuff out the way early on both days with Sunday early baseball, and some of you guys are watching playoffs and stuff like that. So just convenient, if nothing else. And then Root. We saw was it Patrick Bailey got scratched yesterday? Keep an eye on that. I don't think anybody's running to get their Patrick Bailey exposure, but apparently becomes a late swap headache. By the way, this game 2 hours before or after the rest of the slate. Kind of annoying. Kyle Hendricks versus Landon Roop. Roop's got some pretty good strikeout numbers so far this season. Enough that I'm at least intrigued because of how shallow the pitching pool feels. I think I put him up here, man. I think he's earning it. His 2% barrel rate. He's compensating for the lack of called strikes with swinging strikes. Are we seeing an increase in swings in general for him here year over year? Let's go. Plate discipline, swing percentage. Not really. 40% last year, 43% this year. Ozone swing, maybe. Oh. Yeah, he's getting more people to chase. So last year at 27% outside the zone swing percentage, this year at 33. So picking up 6% in that category is not insignificant. But you would like to see that end an increase in called strikes, right? But he's keeping that CSW at 30 one way or the other. I'm kind of interested in a little Roop. Roop, there it is. The landing strip. Curveball's his number 1. Wow. 55% whiff rate this year on that curveball. Last year, 33.5%. Usually that comes with higher spin rate, and it's a little higher. How's the break looking? Vertical movement. Yeah, a little bit more break this year on the curveball. Almost like 3 inches different. That means something. And then the Angels against the curveball. Go check out the pitch report. No hit and miss. Mike Trout and Logan O'Hoppe. No shock there. Those are the two. I think we're getting to some root here. We're doing it. Not playing Kyle Hendricks, which means we're playing Giants. Giants, by the way, 4.6 run total. Angels, 4.1. Kind of the same thing. Like if Roop falls in a lineup with a Mike Trout on a 4-game slate in your opto or simulator, whatever, man. The other options kind of tank. So I don't think it's crazy. Hicksy, Hendricks, 15% K rate aggregate last 3 years. He's not going to miss bats. Not going to give you much DFS upside. Giants are a team that strike out quite a bit, so you can neutralize those numbers. Dig a little bit more into the 200 plus ISOs against righties for Yaz, for Adamas, for Chappie. Jung-Ho Lee's been pretty solid. Ironic that his like lefty power has been better than his righty power, but still take advantage of this better hit for average and Kyle Hendricks daring you to make contact. So I'm in on the Giants here. No Hicksy. And then we're gonna go Roop. So let's get that projected out. I'm gonna tax Roop a little bit. I'll even go down to 25%. I think you can obviously give him more. I'm gonna go 15% on Hendricks. Then walk rate here. I'm gonna give him a 10%. Gotta earn it. And then Hicks or Hendricks. I keep calling him Hicks. Let's give him 8%. Then spray some outs here at this night slate. King 18, 17 and a half. They're giving King a real strong betting foundation for a quality start. 17 and a half and 15 for Patrick. So 17 and a half on Sevy. Good for him. Sale's getting big shot at 18. Richardson at 15. And then Roop. They're keeping him at 15 and a half. Has he just not been super stretched? 100 pitches? I mean, he's I guess the walk rate been an issue. Angels walk. They sure do walk. Harris, Shanuel, Hilaire, Trout, Ward. That's like half the lineup with a 1 in 10 plus walk rate. So yeah. I feel like 15 and a half still seems a little light, but I'll give them both 15 and a half. Hendricks is at 15 period, yeah, with the juice 170 under. All right, and let's give away some quality start bonuses. So I'm gonna go 2 for King, 3 for Sale, man. Savvy, they got Savvy at 17 and a half. I'm gonna give him 1, but I don't like it. I don't like it. So let's close that out and let's go pull up the main slate for pitching projection tab. We'll get this ready. Live chat, if you're still awake, you got anything you want us to take a look at, or hot takes or anything like that, let me know. We'll do it before we get out of here. The plan is to do a stream tomorrow, but I'm gonna at least say that there's a chance. WrestleMania should be over by, like, it's WrestleMania. You guys know it's Easter weekend. There's at least a chance that I don't get one tomorrow night, but I'm gonna try. Sale tops out the late slate and projection, no shock there. Go main stack rating. I feel like we're doing pretty good though as far as Iron Manning this season. We did miss one, I believe 1 day is it, and it was like a 4-day ugly all day nonsense slate. I think we've been pretty good about showing up one way or the other for everything else. All right, main slate stack ratings. Atlanta at the top, Athletics, San Diego, Giants. Not as high stack ratings on that slate. No shock as the early slate, but there we go. Pitch report, we'll refresh the bomb detector. So you guys that are premium subscribers, that's all ready to go. I'll wake up early enough to try and sweep the pitching outs and obviously the starting lineups. We got a lot of work done tonight. Refreshing the projections, and then we'll keep an eye on like rain and wind and temperatures. Certainly could be a little more fluid. I think we are good. I think we got all the tabs needed. Nothing missing, right? We're good, man. We did a lot. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. All right, anything else from you guys? Big Jake. Hockey playoffs tomorrow. I don't know if hockey's your thing. It used to be. I used to be big at Rangers. But it's just so hard to. You believe it or not, I was a big NASCAR guy too. What up, Po Jen? Where's the Chinese restaurant? We'll cover, but I'm still banned from the Gundacker YouTube channel. Finding your rhythm. Yeah, I told you a couple weeks. We'll get it. But I think there's like I don't know if it's a 50-50 split. But a lot of you guys like the day streams. A lot of you guys like the night streams. I feel like we've been kind of doing enough to serve both. So here we are. Well,
yeah. Welcome to the grind, the MLB maze. Gundackers and name dropping plays all day.
that'll do it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Twitter.com/Gundacker. And let's make some money tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. Tell somebody you love them. I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. Crunching all the numbers for the big bankroll thrill. Gundacker got the mic, yeah, he's rushing the third, making DFS moves like a numbers expert. Late breaks, curve, slide, spin on deck. Grind through the stats till the box is check. No, swing and miss on this audio blast. MLB grind, taking listeners to class. MLB grind, where the winners reside. Prop bets and DFS with a confident stride. Tune in for the picks, that's a daily vibe. Hard contact hitters keep the dream alive.